We are happy to have Kristina Höschlová, the founder of Mehana Institute, with us, back with Mehana Talks.
I'm happy too. I like it.
Yeah. We're happy to have you and to be able to discuss some topics concerning integrative approach to medicine and self-care, maybe. And first of all, if I can ask you, could you maybe introduce a little bit more to greater detail the courses that the Mehana Institute offers?
Yes, I call our programs healthy educative programs. They are like both aspects. So everybody who participates in our programs should also await some health benefit. This is the purpose. But we really like to promote also the educative aspect, because I think that now in these like unstable and changing times, we tend in general to be more independent, more self-confident, and the goal is to offer to everybody healing tools everybody can use back at home in their daily life. And this is the educative part. So this is in general, we practice different complementary healing techniques, but at the same moment, we like to explain how they work and for which purpose they can be used, and with the goal to provide the participants with a useful and simple means to sustain good health and prevent illness.
Mm-hmm. Do you, in your experience, how hard is it after the course for me to integrate what I've learned? Mm-hmm. If I pick a course, I go through the course, I'm excited that I have learned and I can benefit in so many ways, but then everyday daily routine kicks in. So how do you have some suggestions, maybe tricks up your sleeve, how to make it happen? How do I go on after the course? Maybe if there's some kind of support or feedback that the participants get.
This is a good question. I think this always goes along with the length and intensity of the course. So in general, I think for me, the most sense I see in the longer programs, which last at least 1 week, because I think it's always really worthy to spend longer time in the environment when the people, they exchange the experience, they practice, we repeat many things one day after another. And usually you can observe certain like understanding and capturing of the techniques within, you start to feel it in the third day, and it's always good to keep at least 1 week. But I see that sometimes it's hard to organize, or the people, I understand that when they don't know what is it about, that they are reluctant to participate directly in such a longer program. So that's why we offer also the short workshops. And now we are about to launch Mehana Open, which is a compromise. This program is conducted in 3 separated days. There is certain continuity, but in between there are always 4 weeks off. And the thing is that, you know, of course, we can continue with some online teaching, but I am not really fan of this approach, because in some way it contradicts also the philosophy of Mehana. I think these are not only information we are transmitting. This is all the context of the ambience and the practical skills and the exchange and interrelation with all the participants and teachers, which counts for the effect. So this is why I don't really plan to launch a kind of online course when we have this opportunity to meet in person. However, since we run our programs already since almost 2 years, we have certain continuity, we have certain platform where we can invite our participants in the milieu, in the environment of complementary medicine within our newsletters. We release every month a newsletter which is quite rich of many interesting topics, inspirations, short teaching videos, music, art, and many small shots from complementary medicine. Mm-hmm. And this is, I really observed the effect of this regular monthly newsletters, that this always keeps the people in the topic, so who is interested in. So this is for this moment means, who knows, maybe we will change opinion. Yeah.
So people can stay in touch and get some up-to-date suggestions, motivation maybe to go on.
We like always to present one topic of month, which there's always some relation with the complementary medicine. In between also we release one blog, so there are 2 opportunities in month. So at the beginning of month we release one major topic. Then there is also information about some medicinal plant, and in between, so in the second week of the month we release one blog, and there are inspirations, suggestions, recommendations, or I don't like to tell a recommendation, but more inspirations or teaching videos, and this is the opportunity to maybe get step after step more into the topic, because I'm pretty sure that even though the programs are quite intense, it's absolutely fine and normal, and this is what we expect, that you get maybe 10% of all this information. It's normal. So that's why I encourage the people to, if they really like, if they are in, to choose afterwards what activity of this day experience they like to explore more, and then we offer also more specialized programs. So, for example, in this Mehana Open program, we like to demonstrate most of different techniques, and it's kind of demonstration. And then the people, they can choose whether they are more likely to practice movement techniques or maybe artistic techniques, contemplative. And then we run 4 different programs which are already more specialized. And in between, there is the opportunity to get more information, maybe more inspiration within our newsletters.
So that's excellent. People have a chance to get some kind of tasting of what you offer, and see for themselves what is their priority at the moment, maybe.
Yeah, this is exactly because I am absolutely aware of the fact that, for example, when we demonstrate 6 different techniques, I will give you an example: yoga, qigong, dance, singing, contemplative methods, hardening, barefoot walking, physiotherapy. It's absolutely normal that not everybody will be fan of everything. But this is not the point, that everybody will be enthusiastic about all these 8 tools. We know why we offer 8 different tools, because we know that we like to give opportunity to everybody to adapt to their needs. So maybe the more artistic souls will appreciate the artistic part of the complementary technique, but where those one we are more athletic and prefer physical activity, will prefer the other part. Yeah.
That's great. So there's something for everybody, basically.
Yes. This is always, I like really to, not to constrict also our achievements. And we also like to combine, to implement both public and also medical professionals at the same moment. And it works, because I am pretty sure that whatever course or education you get, the final outcome of the quality of the education you get depends upon your previous experiences. And this is why, for example, when we teach physiotherapy, at the very beginning, we adjust the teachings to the lay persons or public. So we teach them how to just perceive the human touch, how to feel the interaction between the touch and the body and different parts of the body. And then in the second step, we just try to explain kind of how it works, kind of dialogue, that there is a dialogue between this what I perceive in my fingers and this what happens in the organism I am touching. And this everybody can learn this. And in the third step, we learn specific maneuvers. And maybe these very beginners, they will be very happy with the first two steps. And in the fourth step, we explain for those ones which are already experienced in medicine, we explain how exactly it works on the pathophysiological and physiological background, the fact that I can influence by my touch also the condition of my inner organs. And those ones who are beginners, they switch off their heads, but it's okay. They are happy to get the first two steps. So this is why, this is the system I already implement since many years when I design different courses. And till now I have really good feedback for this, that everybody is happy in some way.
Everybody benefits.
Yeah, and I think it's also nice to have the interaction among the participants. I think it's interesting because even, you know, I will give you an example, even I know it from the other part, me as a doctor who practice also kind of musculoskeletal medicine since many years, I will participate in 3 weeks in a course of kind of acupressure in Italy, in Rome, and this course is designed also for public. But I don't mind. I think even though I have certain experience from the medical point of view, I will be very happy to participate with the laypersons, because sometimes I think it's sometimes even beneficial that the beginners, they throw light on certain aspects you don't perceive when you are just in the professional environment. Because they have good questions and good challenges,
and different perspectives. In some ways you could say limited compared to the doctors.
Absolutely.
But on the other way, their view is different, and it can be.
So that's why I look forward, and usually when I participate in such kind of course, I never tell about my medical background, and I really like to enjoy it like with the others. And also I like Italian culture, so there's another also added value for myself, because I love Rome and Italy. So that's why I whenever I find kind of course which can be interesting also for my profession, but is held in Rome, then I inscribe immediately.
I understand very, very well. I'm passionate about Italian culture too myself.
So we invite all the Italians, so come join us. We are fun, so but not, of course, not only Italians. We are really but this is also the reason why I'm so happy to run Mehana courses for the international public, because I love to be enriched by different cultures, you know. And in our last program, we had participants from Japan and from Croatia, and it's, you know, even during the evenings, it was so funny. We exchanged some cultural experiences, so we were really very enthusiastic to see how the Japanese colleague, she perceived our Czech culture, how she described this. So this is why we are really happy to invite people from wherever, wherever.
All around the world. Interesting. And it's great that you can see it yourself, that the experience is good, that it shows you that you were right letting the public and the medical doctors or professionals blend in within one course. And maybe I've been meaning to ask, this gives me hope, the fact that you said that you have doctors in your courses as well as laymen. It might be, thanks to Mehana Institute, it might be easier for us, for instance, searching for medical doctors, experts, professionals with this kind of approach, with this kind of integrative, complementary approach in medicine, to find them thanks to you and your activities. Because when I want to talk to a doctor, I consult something, I would preferably go to someone who has this kind of approach in their practice. So
yeah, this is excellent remark, because this is the point actually of our introductive courses. So now I have spoken about this Mehana Open. We just launched. We will run. This is the only course, or the first one we will run in the Czech language, because there was really high demand from the Czech people, and some of them are very reluctant to participate in the English program. But this is the point, that we present also the techniques, but also my colleagues, and we have also new doctors and new instructors in training who joined our institute, and we will give them opportunity not only to go through our teachings, but also to give their first lecture, to interact with the public, and it will give them an excellent opportunity to present themselves and to make contacts. Each of them is specialized in another branch. So this is also another point of Mehana Institute, because in fact Mehana Institute, why we call it institute, because the idea is to shelter mostly medical professionals from practicing conventional medicine, who decided to implement in their practice complementary and integrative approach. And we, Mehana should offer kind of shelter or kind of space or platform to exchange the experiences, to enrich each other and to educate each other, and to raise also, like, through our experiences, to grow. And so that's why we also run it since the very beginning in English, because we like to be completely open also to other colleagues from abroad. And so this is the main idea. And at the same moment, we like to be open for public. So that's why, of course, I think in the future, when we will grow, I suppose we will run also specialized course, specialized for doctors.
Right.
But at this point, I think it's very important to be, since the very beginning, open for the public and exchange, because without public, we would never have the feedback, and we will never know where to go. So we need public to participate. This is what happens actually, and I'm really thankful for all the hundreds of participants who already passed through our courses, for their feedback, very patient feedback, because I was really very insistent to ask about the feedback, and I am thankful for them that they were enough patient to give it, because they help us to form the direction.
That's brilliant. I like the way you think and design the courses, and the way Mehana Institute operates. And it's very good news for me also to see that it's a great source even for the public to get a chance to meet or somehow mediate contact perhaps with specialists that think in this way, that have a broad look at.
And I think it's an excellent thing. I am really very happy to enable this opportunity to meet the doctors who practice complementary medicine with their clients, because also for the doctors it's good to be surrounded by the people who are really on the same wave, on the same. Because of course this approach is not for everybody. I'm pretty sure that even in the future there will be always patients who will always prefer the passive approach and more like pharmacologic therapy and invasive therapy. It's perfect, but they will have their doctors. But there are now this group of people who is searching for something like really to be more independent, to understand more the things, to be more maybe close to natural approaches. So these potential patients are searching for their doctors, and I'm really happy to give opportunity for them to meet.
So now you, among other things, you have mentioned the way we're kind of drifting a little bit towards more maybe responsible, maybe self-help, or we want to know more, we want to participate, not to be treated by somebody else externally, but also asking ourselves maybe what can we ourselves do for our body and mind to be fit, to stay fit, maybe to prevent illnesses rather than treat illnesses. So
I like, sorry to interrupt you, I like now, I like to mention the saying which characterizes this, what is Mehana about. We as doctors, we are not here to heal you, but we are here to help you discover your self-healing potential. So this is the philosophy, because I don't like to tell to the people you should do this, but I'm pretty sure that most of the answers and doubts and concerns, this is what concerns health, we can find the response already within or in the surrounding nature. But what we need is to discover this space. And we discover it just by refining perceptivity and awareness. When we bring awareness inward, and when we learn about our very tight interrelation with nature, we make part of, then we start to discover, like get deeper and deeper in this knowledge and in this wisdom about health we already possess within.
Very nicely put. There's nothing else I can say now. That's what I've been meaning to ask about, the self-healing potential, because probably most people listening or following your activities would say that they believe in or they feel the self-healing potential, but not necessarily do we know how to go about it. Maybe when we begin to get interested about things like that. So do you think there are ways that we can optimize or maximize our potential for self-healing?
I like to give this example. Just try to remember a day you are really tired, maybe you were skiing all the day or hiking, and there was very cold weather, and you get back at home and you feel sore and tired, and maybe even you feel you are about to catch some cold because other members of the family are sick, and you feel, okay, now I think that tomorrow I will be sick. You feel it. And then you get to bed quite early and you sleep 12-hour long, nourishing, deep sleep. And then you wake up the other morning and you realize you are not that sick, you supposed. And maybe you take rest all the day, and suddenly you realize that, okay, the soreness is gone, the tiredness is gone, and even there's no more problem, it's okay. So I think, I believe that most of us, we have experienced such a situation. And what does it mean? What happened? Okay, so who repaired me? And why it happened in the night? So obviously, during the sleep, there were some processes passing in the body which eliminated the imminent infection. And it does mean, okay, so the potential is really there, okay? And then, okay, I know there is the potential, so how? I like to use it very often, so how to use it?
Exactly.
Yeah. But why it happened during the deep, profound, peaceful sleep? because our talkative mind was off. And it's good to mention that our mind, there is just 5 to 10% is conscious, and the other 90 to 95% is unconscious. It does mean that this I am just analyzing, thinking, speaking. It happened it takes very small part of all the content of my mind. And this 95%, these are all these automatic subconscious mechanisms, are my emotions. This is what I not really influence voluntary. And this is exactly the space where the self-healing and self-repairing mechanisms occur. And how we can allow these mechanisms to work properly and not disturb them. So let's imagine that the subconscious mind is in kind of room, and when I like this room to be refreshed by fresh air and to throw some light there. So when I bring my awareness in the mechanisms which happen unconsciously or automatically, this is the means how I can enable the automatic and subconscious mechanisms work. I will give you an example. For example, breathing. This breathing is one of these unconscious automatical mechanisms. Also, all these regulatory mechanisms of the body, the neurohumoral, psychical, hormonal, vegetative, immunity, immune. So all these mechanisms are interrelated and they work perfectly, but I can't influence them voluntarily. However, when I bring awareness, this is this is the same thing as if I throw light in this dark room. I bring awareness in these mechanisms. This is the way to open the door, to refresh the room, and to let it work properly. What techniques allow us to do this? All the contemplative techniques. For example, when I observe my breath and I align my breathing with the movements, or when I bring awareness into the proprioception, so now I feel okay, I lean against the chair, the left foot is grounded, the other one is airborne, etc. Or when I practice balance and now now my weight is on the left and on the right. All these techniques mean that they bring my concentration in the subconscious mechanisms. And this is the answer why contemplative and breathing techniques make up part of most of the traditional medicine approaches. When I have been to Indonesia, I have met one very famous doctor there, and he told that every consultation with whatever patient, he starts with 1 hour breathing exercise. And then
1 hour?
Yeah.
Wow.
It was funny because, it is maybe 8 years ago, I visited him and I wanted to pass his session, and I participated in this, and at the beginning I was thinking, what, 1 hour breathing technique, and then he explained me many mechanisms, he explained me so many things, and then, within the following practice and experience, now I understand completely how it works. And this is just to get back to this answer. So now I understand, and this is also to explain how it works on the physiological level. So the point is to bring awareness into the subconscious mechanisms, and the subconscious mechanism space, this is the space where the self-repairing mechanisms occur. So this is the way. And also one thing, it does not concern only breathing techniques or meditation or qigong. It concerns whatever activity. When I really I do mindfully.
Mm-hmm.
Another example of this kind of techniques is observing flow of a river or observing tree, and I really perceive every detail, every leaf here, can touch it, feel. And because when we do such a thing, this is also the opportunity to switch off all these judgments and worries, because now I'm completely concentrated on the color, the touch, okay, and how it's grown. And so this is why also art is so beneficial, because when playing instrument, listening to the music, or when contemplating a beautiful picture, I am in the same state of mind.
If we happen to be present, if you manage to assess or see the qualities, perceive the qualities as they are, rather than assessing or, like you said, judging or always.
Yeah, and I think it's quite challenging in these times when everybody is challenged to react, respond, social media, respond, give your opinion. You know, because all these are always follow me. Because respond, give reaction, follow. This is the contrary, you know. This, we nourish by these activities, we nourish the 5% of our talkative mind. But in order to allow this self-healing mechanism really to work perfectly, to thrive, we have to switch this off and shut up sometimes all this judgment and follow. I think on a daily basis we have so many opportunities to do this, even when I am on the bus stop and waiting for bus. So I have two options. One is to scroll on all the Facebook likes and whatever. The other one is just to watch the tree and contemplate and see the colors and the winds and the sky and the clouds and feel the breeze. So, and this is what is Mehana about, not to tell the people don't do this or do this, just explain this, and it's up to everybody. But I think once you discover this potential, I think this is already the first step, you know.
Once you have a chance to try it out and see for yourself that what it does to you, what difference it is to be standing on the bus stop, like you said, in one way scrolling or thinking about the day and what should we do the next day, and or be able to switch this off, like you said, and choose to be present instead. So that's great that Mehana Institute offers a platform where you can learn this, because I don't think anybody's ever taught us, you know, to be present or not to try and not to be overloaded by all that's happening around us, in our mind or around us.
You know, it's really funny because it's new to us, and I think that this is the way also, because we as humanity, we are very, very flexible, and now in these days we are speaking about how all the artificial intelligence and social media and technology, how it will destroy us. But I really completely believe that we will not let us destroy. We are too smart.
Let's hope.
And I think, like, from the contemporary point of how I see the situation, I think that this will be the way to get back to this capacity and ability to switch off all this talkative mind, and also to really to be mindful, awareness and mindfulness.
So you see it as an impulse, as an opportunity to go back to ourselves a little bit more.
Yes, yes. And
That's
this is
hopeful.
also and this is also the, you know, for me personally, sometimes I have to always to define my statement for all this which concerns the modern technologies and social media. Because of course I like Mehana to grow, I like Mehana to thrive. And we live in this culture in these days, and we need all this, you know, internet and YouTube and everything. On the other hand, you know, I see there also the harmful aspects. So for me, it's quite a challenge, you know, to find certain balance.
To balance it out.
Because even, it does not mean that I don't benefit from the technology, because even for my profession I learn sometimes something from internet. I'm also on it, but I think the key is, there is no instruction. Nobody can give any instruction how to deal with it. But the way is, again, self-perceptiveness, and then I will know when to stop. I will, each of us should find balance between we need technologies, we need all this, but we are pretty aware that we should use it in moderation. And once we become self-perceptive and self-aware, then we know how to regulate this. So this is also when we get back to your, I think it was the first question, so how to interact with the people. Of course, now everybody interacts online, but I like to inspire people to interact more with themselves. Because what I find funny, that the social media, they always chant you comment. But what the hell? Why comment all the time? So who needs all these comments? Sometimes sometimes maybe I can just observe. So
yes, sometimes the less is said, the better. If everybody were to comment, then you spend the rest of your life reading the comments, and it takes away. Sometimes we need to share maybe and compare with the other person's experience or mind, but sometimes it takes away the focus from me, my experience, because I'm different than her and him, and we are unique. So like you said a couple of minutes ago, there is no standard procedure. We have to find out for ourselves what helps us best to achieve what we're trying to achieve.
And also in different periods of our lives. This is also very important, not to stick too much to certain approach. It concerns also diets, for example, or different approaches, because it's obvious that we go through different periods of our lives, and I think it's always very good to keep this open-mindedness, to not to stick too much to certain persuasion or certain approach. Or this is why I always really I'm so motivated to learn and really collect different approaches, and of course they have to keep certain common line. It is this is obvious, but at the same moment it allows us to be enough flexible to implement different techniques and adapt them to specific periods of our lives and specific also characters.
Well, that's another topic. You mentioned now diet or this area of our life, which also affects our health to great extent, and so it's not just the technology like we've mentioned already, but also this area where trends and concerns and let's say trendy recommendations or warnings come up. So it might be difficult, especially if we are, for instance, limited for medical reasons too, for in our diet, like when to adapt more and more trendy recommendations. What should we eat? What we should opt out, and when to just keep calm and not be rushed or excited about the latest recommendations when it comes to our diet, or not just diet, but it's a good example. It's something we do every day, and we need to take care of or take into consideration.
Yeah, this is a very good point, because I think it's another challenge of these times, that we are so overwhelmed by so many information, and I think we have to avoid both extremes, and as usual, the golden midway is for me like the option. So on one hand, I think it's perfect that we can be inspired and maybe learn and listen here about different approaches, but there should be always time, I mean, when we retreat, switch off all this, and then listen to the inner truth and inner voice. But we need both. If I retreated myself for 10 years in a cave, it's okay, but then when I get back to this life, I think I will be really very sick and unhappy. So I think it's really good to go along, but be very careful not to forget the inner voice and the inner truth, and always train the self-perceptiveness. And from the practical point of view, I think the best way is like periodically switch off. So I am completely in like taking information online, communicating, but maybe we can design kind of regime that 1 day a week I switch off everything, or maybe 3 days a month I get off offline somewhere in hidden place, and I'm alone, completely alone, without any electronic device, just with my notebook, and I can write my thoughts. And this is very beneficial. This is also what I practice myself, and I see also the need of both. Yeah. And what I have observed at the beginning, it seemed to me very difficult to get off like 1 day a week, to be completely offline, because I was always sure that there was something very important I will miss, because many people, they evade my response, and I promise this and promise that. But afterwards I realized that I'm more effective, always more effective, because the 1 day off, what I take, all this the enormous amount of income, information, extra stimuli I was nourished the previous 6 days, I have the space to arrange them, you know. And this is what I do the 7 days. So I take my notebook, I just write the thoughts and priorities. And although I really don't like at all the other morning when I open my email box and there are 20 emails like this, but then I see that I'm much more clear, I have much more focused, and I set up the priorities, and the following 3 days I am maybe twice as effective as before. But you know, this is just, I speak about my experience, maybe just an inspiration, because I can imagine other people, they will do it another way, but in general also to do kind of retreat, like 3 days off, and to get in some natural place at least once in a couple of months. I think it's very beneficial for everybody. Yeah, or like now the pilgrimage. Now it's very, very modern. I'm a big fan of it. Like these long distance walks. As it's excellent, you know, and because it's hard to walk like 100 kilometers with your Facebook like this. So another means this. Somebody likes to get in some like really hidden place, not move, to be still. Why not? In forest, cave, why not? But so everybody finds her way. But I think it's very good to consider this. Yeah.
Absolutely, because you create conditions for getting distance a little bit, getting a chance to digest all that you've been, you know, people have been all the life throwing at you. And
you're right, this is digestion. This is the same, we can tell this the same as if you eat like all the day, all the night. Sometimes you need really to stop eating for certain periods, because everybody, we know it, that more you appreciate the next meal, you know.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
This is the same.
Yeah, it's time out, physically, mentally. It's a good metaphor, yes, with the digestion and technical sense of the world.
Yeah, but it's challenge. Yeah.
It is, because we live in an environment which usually keeps, suggesting that we don't have time for this, we don't have opportunity for this, because we have this and that, and our responsibilities and duties and activities that that cannot wait for us. But I think it's a recipe for disaster if we never stop,
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of time when we're told by
and
something that we actually can stop and need to stop, so it's better to do it.
And this is also, it really concerns quite remarkably the health, because this is exactly how many of the pathological chains start, which lead at the end to even life-threatening situations. This is exactly this, that because if you don't stop, if you don't take this time just to arrange and calibrate all these stimuli, you dampen your feedback which gets from inside the body. You don't hear it. And the more you accelerate, then the louder the voice is, and then it comes often to the point when the break point when the health is broken. And this is the very typical mechanisms for many diseases. So when we speak about prevention, so this is also one of, as we have spoken at the beginning, about the recovery during sleep, about the self-healing mechanisms which occurs when we are practicing whatever mindful or awareness activities with awareness. So another means how to support this self-healing potential and not to allow the pathological pathways to be triggered is to take the time to, let's say, recalibrate or arrange or make order in all this stuff we digest.
Because there's a lot of it
coming
our way all the time. Even without realizing it.
Mm.
It took me a few days in the mountains to realize that once I got back to Prague, I was attacked by all billboards and images and words and actions like do this, do that, like you said, scroll, comment, like, subscribe,
follow me,
do all of it at once. It's necessary to take a breath and think about things in a different way, not just keep going all the time. I also kept thinking about the herbs. You mentioned herbal treatment, plant treatment. So I wanted to ask if this is what we want to go with, if it is a good idea to stick to one kind of herbal remedy, or if it's possible to combine them. Maybe traditions from different cultures, Ayurvedic, Chinese, maybe European, local. If it's necessary to maybe, or not necessary, but if it's a good idea to stay local, maybe to be treated by the plants that actually physically grow around us or nearby.
I think I like to take the things like in an easy way. Just let's look at the herbal medicine by itself. Herbal medicine is present within all the medicinal traditions all the world around. Herbal medicine is an important part of Ayurvedic medicine, of Chinese medicine, of Western medicine as well. Just in recent 100 years it has been made a little bit apart, but the Occidental medicine grew up on herbal medicine. Also, this is which is called also Mediterranean medicine. It means that what is it good for? The herbs are here to heal us since time immemorial, and this is absolutely normal that there are these three different herbal medicine approaches, because it concerns the different medical traditions. Only now we have the opportunity to experience also the other medicinal tradition, because during centuries before it was not possible. The people, they didn't know, or it was very hard to know about herbal Chinese herbal medicine when living in Europe and vice versa. So this is why I think that the herbs which grow in certain area usually cover all this what is necessary, you know. And so this is how nature works, because the nature is interrelated, and we know that we are dependent on trees which produce oxygen, but the trees are dependent on carbon dioxide we produce like animals and humans. So this is how it works in general, that the nature is very sophisticated, works very sophisticated, like is interconnected. And it does mean that I'm pretty sure that the herbal medicine, which is based upon the herbs which grow in the area we live, cover our needs. And the same for Ayurvedic medicine, the same for Chinese medicine when speaking about the most important medicinal traditions. Mm-hmm. However, if you ask whether it is good or not to combine, I don't know, because I don't have enough experience with this, but in general, why not? Because we have to take in consideration that although we can tell centuries ago we didn't have the opportunity to combine the things, now we live in modern time and we travel a lot. We have this opportunity. So I think that also we are adapted to this. So this is why theoretically I think it shouldn't be an issue. Mm-hmm. Because they are we are so flexible, and this is our new style of life. Our new style of life, that I can really get information. I can try techniques from other parts of the world. I can travel there whenever I want. So our body, sooner or later, will also adapt to this. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But me personally, I practice only with the herbal medicine, like European herbs. And I don't have experiences with the mm-hmm. other tradition. Some I tried as a client, but as a doctor, I am not enough educated and mm-hmm. experienced to use it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks to you. It was such a pleasure. Yeah, thank you.
Perfect. Thanks for all that you have shared with us.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sure it's going to be an inspiration.
Yeah. And I look forward to meet for next Mehana Talks in a few months.